They say a father's love is the only true love, but what if that father is a simple man? What if his ways are old and his views are even older? Will you still stand by him, or will you choose your own way? That's what we'll find out today. Our hero, Gelbab, was a man of humble beginnings. He worked in the market, carrying bags and selling goods until he saved enough to start his own trading business. Years went by and Gelbab became a successful merchant, but not a rich man. He lived a simple life, honest and hard-working. He wasn't educated, but he was wise. Everything he did was for his children, especially his eldest son, Abdul-Wahab. Abdul-Wahab grew up watching his father work. He admired his strength, but he was ashamed of his father's simplicity. The older he got, the more he wanted to distance himself from his father's shadow. He didn't want to work in the family business. Instead, he wanted to become someone important, someone who could take him out of the market and into the offices of the rich and powerful. When his father suggested that he learn the family business, Abdul-Wahab replied, "I will never live my life in my father's shadow. I'll choose my own way." So he left home and tried to build his own life. At first, it was difficult. He didn't know any fancy businessmen, so he started small, doing odd jobs here and there. But little by little, he worked his way up, trying to make his father proud. But life is not easy, especially when you have big dreams and little education. After several failures and heartbreaks, Abdul-Wahab found himself without a job and without hope. He was desperate and didn't know what to do next. In a moment of weakness, he called his father for help. But Gelbab couldn't help him. He was too busy taking care of his sick wife. When Abdul-Wahab heard that, something inside him broke. For the first time, he understood the weight of his father's sacrifices. He understood that his father's love was not a burden, but a gift. It was a gift that had carried him for all these years, a gift that had given him the strength to keep going when he thought he couldn't go on. Abdul-Wahab returned home, defeated and ashamed. He had chosen his own way and had failed. Now he had nothing to offer his father, nothing to offer his family. But when Gelbab saw him, he didn't scold him. He didn't tell him that he was a failure. Instead, he welcomed him home. He took care of him and helped him get back on his feet. It was then that Abdul-Wahab realized he wasn't running from his father. He was running from the part of himself that he didn't understand. He was running from his heart. With his father's help, Abdul-Wahab rebuilt his life and his relationship with his father. He reconnected with his roots and began to understand the values that had been passed down to him for generations. He learned that life wasn't about being rich or powerful, but about being honest, hardworking, and kind. And so Abdul-Wahab and his father worked side by side, not as a father and son, but as friends and partners. They rebuilt the family business together, and it grew stronger than ever before. Gelbab was proud of his son, and Gelbab knew that his legacy was in good hands. This is an original story from our channel. If you liked it, hit the like button and share it with your friends. Subscribe to our channel for more stories like this every day.